this is such an important topic for everyone right now. Our mutual colleague and trauma expert, Malia Boughton, said that during these multiple pandemics that we're in right now, we're all experiencing the trauma of that. And trauma is simply acute stress. And so we all respond differently to stress. And self-care is really how we respond to inevitable stresses in life and how we respond to the demands in our life. So a basic definition of self-care might be something like how we tend to our activities of daily living, with special regard to our physical well-being, our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being, or our emotional well-being, if that fits us more appropriately. And like I said, we can't control what kind of stresses come up in life. Things happen, but we can cultivate a way of responding to those stresses. And that's where I see self-care coming in. And so self-care generally is thought of in kind of like three main areas with how we tend to ourselves, body, mind, and heart. But in broader scopes, it really has 8 dimensions. And so when we look at the full dimensions of self-care, we can see that there's other areas as well that would include environment. What's our environment of the place that we live, the city that we work, city or town, wherever we work, our financials, our intellectual, what we do for work, our social. These are often areas that people don't necessarily think about self-care. One of the things I think that jumps to people's mind, and I'm probably guilty of it because I mentioned the word yoga already, like within the first 30 seconds of this podcast, is that self-care has to be, going to some place, doing something that costs money, or it has to be a certain way. And it's really not. Self-care is anything you do to help improve the quality of your life, simply put. So there have been studies that show that people who get up and make their bed every day, that's an act of self-care, that they actually have really better health outcomes. Self-care is actually, doing your taxes. I'm working on my taxes right now. And so taking care of the things of basic life. When we make food for our children, provide healthy meals for ourselves and for others, that's part of self-care. It can include things like taking a vacation, but I find that self-care is more about those daily activities that help us to make sure that we're caring for all the aspects of ourselves. And so again, it does include the basic dimensions, but also our whole lived environment.